It seems that Israel has unleashed all the militant forces and maybe the armed forces of Lebanon itself against Hezbollah with its last press conference. In this video, we are going to talk about what happened. We'll watch the press conference and then put all of this in perspective, how this might be the end of Hezbollah thanks to Lebanese armed forces. Israel is fighting the terrorist organization from Lebanon since October 8th, 2023. And while the fighting has caused casualties on both sides, the fighting intensified in the summer this year, and roughly 4 or 5 weeks ago, it completely escalated. Israel started the whole escalation then with a decapitation campaign, which was probably unheard of in history. Initially, the pagers killed and maimed scores of leadership cadres of Hezbollah. Then walkie-talkies exploded. Then bombs struck weapon depots and leadership command bunkers to a degree that it felt it's unnecessary to even learn the name of the person currently commanding Hezbollah, as its life expectancy was within 72 hours. Now, this decapitation campaign has been massive to an extent that is probably unheard of. And after that, Israel entered southern Lebanon, but only the border areas, to start dismantling Hezbollah's infrastructure there. Next to clashes with Hezbollah fighters that obviously caused losses, this led to the destruction of weapon depots, of tunnels, of underground installations, of logistics and other infrastructure, and thus is weakening Hezbollah. But to gain more than a breather, to gain more than a ceasefire after some time and then some years of peace, Hezbollah needs to be dismantled. Israel, even if they were to occupy Lebanon fully itself, would probably not be able to do this. To destroy Hezbollah, Israel would need the Lebanese, which have not been willing in the past to do that, even if Israel were willing to aid them with bomb attacks. Now, in tonight's press conference, the spokesperson for the Israeli Defense Forces might have just unleashed everyone who can carry a weapon inside of Lebanon against Hezbollah, but let's watch the press conference together and you'll see the point I'm making.
Tonight, we're exposing Hezbollah's financial network and how Hezbollah uses it to fund its terrorist activities. In recent years, the state of Lebanon has experienced a deep financial crisis, which was exploited by Hezbollah. Hezbollah's main financial arm is the Al-Qard al-Hassan Association.
This is part of the current trouble that Hezbollah has inside of Lebanon, that it is taking part in the government, but also having a destabilizing role. He's talking about the financial means, but another example is the big explosion in the harbor of Beirut, where Hezbollah claimed that it's innocent, but inside of Lebanon, people were accusing Hezbollah to have stashed weapons in that warehouse that blew up with the force of 10% of the Hiroshima bomb. When there was an independent investigation, Hezbollah started threatening the judge doing that investigation, a clear sign of them having nothing to do with it, which is obviously tarnishing their reputation.
It provides financial services to Lebanese civilians and pays the salaries of Hezbollah's operatives. Al-Qard al-Hassan, which violates the international law, is sanctioned by the United States and other Western countries. Hezbollah's financial network is based on two main sources of income: money from the Iranian regime and money from the Lebanese people. Iran's Quds forces transfer money to Hezbollah from Iranian oil sold in Syria. Iran also sends suitcases of cash and gold by planes to the Iranian embassy in Beirut, and then directly it goes to Hezbollah. Hezbollah has also built factories in Syria, in Lebanon, in Yemen, and in Turkey that provide income for its terrorist operations. Hezbollah Unit 4400 manages this financial network. It was run by Jafar Ksir, also known as Sheikh Salah, until he was eliminated in a precise strike in Beirut at the beginning of October. Today, In another precise strike in Syria, we have eliminated his successor.
As said, they're killing one after the other. Now he's mentioning what they have struck inside of Lebanon, that they weren't the civilians. But let's jump forward to the important part here. What they have struck, for instance, places where the Hezbollah has stored millions in cash and destroyed the financial reserves, basically destroying the bunkers where the money is. But now let's go to the best part.
Tonight, I am going to declassify intelligence on a site that we did not strike, where Hezbollah has millions of dollars in gold and cash. In Hassan Nasrallah's bunker. Where is the bunker located? Directly under El Sahel Hospital, in the heart of Beirut, in the Dakhia.
That should be the the Shiite majority quarter where the base of Hezbollah is.
This is the hospital. From both sides you can see an entry and exit. Those are entry and exit tunnel shafts from the underground for the underground bunker. The entrance is located in the Al Mahdi building and the exit is located in the El Sahel Center building. This is the bunker. It contains rooms, beds, and infrastructure for long stays, and the ability to direct combat from underground.
This is the accusation that Israel made towards Hamas as well, that they created bunkers under hospitals, and they found a couple in Gaza that proved their point.
Hezbollah built this bunker directly underneath this hospital. There are hundreds of millions of dollars in cash and gold inside the bunker right now.
Right now, hundreds of millions of dollars in cash and gold.
I'm calling on the Lebanese government, Lebanese authorities, and the international organizations. Don't allow Hezbollah to use the money for terror and to attack Israel. The Israeli Air Force is monitoring the compound, as you can see. However, we will not strike the hospital itself. I want to emphasize, we are not at war with the people of Lebanon. We are at war with Hezbollah. And we will continue to operate against Hezbollah so that the residents of northern Israel will be able to return to their homes in safety and security. Thank you. Tonight.
Now he's basically sending every man who can carry a weapon towards this hospital to look for the gold. Anyone who has a group of 30 to 50 people and some weapon is currently checking its weapon store, whether the weapons are still operating. All of them are getting organized, very likely to gain access to that money. This might lead not just to armed groups like the PFLP, like Hamas, like the Phalange, like Amal, other groups that are inside of Lebanon that still have weapons, that are still organized. This will also lead to criminal syndicates trying to gain access to this. Everyone who can muster 30 to 50 people is probably thinking right now of attacking Hezbollah to gain access to that money, which is there in this very moment. This will also lead to probably speculations within the Lebanese government whether they can get access to this. This would then less be an act of open fighting if the Lebanese army goes and can convince Hezbollah to hand it over, or if they gain access to this, but it would nonetheless weaken Hezbollah significantly if they lose all this cash under their control, even though it's unlikely that they would hand it over. So what we should expect now in the next days, probably already in the next hours, is armed groups trying to access the bunkers. They are trying to access the money, and Hezbollah obviously trying to fight them back. And this can sour the relationships between Hezbollah and all the other groups is self-evident. If they are getting soured enough that peace can no longer be created afterwards, then this might be a unified Lebanon fighting against Hezbollah afterwards. At least this seems to be the plan of the Israelis with this move, by making everyone who can carry a weapon and isn't a part of Hezbollah start fighting Hezbollah. What do you think about this? Do you think this is a good plan? Do you think this is the right way to attack Hezbollah? Leave your comment in the comment section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. And if you're new here, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future videos. This channel is only possible because of the support of viewers like you. If you like to support the channel, you can do so by the means in the description. But that's it from me for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back.